Saturday's Six Nations rugby is done and dusted. The full-time whistle has just gone at Murrayfield and it finished between Scotland, final score, 35 points to 29 for Scotland. I mean, look at that scoreline. It looks like an absolute belter of a match, and there was some amazing attacking rugby. But Scotland were 35 points to 8 up early in that second half. I mean, fair play Wales for never giving up. I did a video the other day looking back at a classic match between these two nations, and it was the game in 2010 when Wales had the most remarkable of comebacks. And there was a couple of moments in the final quarter of that game where I was thinking, are we seeing another even more incredible comeback in real time happening right now? But no, it was a Scotland win. I mean, and it really, it's mad to say when you look at that scoreline, the win for Scotland was never really in doubt. And they will ask themselves some questions about how they let the game get that close. But like I say, there's two elements to that. And Wales, one thing they have got, whilst they're lacking a bit of quality in positions and certainly lacking confidence, that was 16 straight defeats now. They've got a little bit of something. They've got some attitude that you can work with. And with guys like Jack Morgan, who is just, I mean, just the heart, the pure heart of the guy. He's got to go on the British and Irish Lions tour. You need someone with that big of a heart on the tour. And just a brilliant rugby player as well. At times it was like he was Sergio Parise going, I'll do this on my own, lads. Do it myself. Right, so these are my thoughts in no particular order as they come out of my head immediately following the game. Leave me yours in the comments down below. Please give the video a thumbs up, and I would love it if I would earn your subscription as well. I mentioned on the video earlier following Ireland against France that I'm a big fan of no singers for the national anthems. Just have a band and then let the crowd do the work. And we saw exactly what I was talking about with that. How magnificent is the Flower of Scotland at Murrayfield? Absolutely beautiful, perfect. I mean, a lovely Scottish evening. You wouldn't know it from looking at Jonathan Davis. Jiffy was dressed up like he was going on an Arctic expedition, but that was practically a Scottish summer. About 10 degrees and sunny, that'll do. Beautiful day, and we saw some great tries as a result. But the bagpipe, the single bagpiper up on the roof, and the crowd taking it home. There's something going on with the Welsh anthem though, like incredible song. I love it, but it seems like that sometimes the Welsh anthem that gets played at away grounds is too slow for the players and the crowd. They seem to be singing at a different pace, and it's such a good song. They need to sort that out. Maybe it's just that all the Welsh fans had been properly getting on it in the many pubs in Edinburgh. I have to say, it's one of my favourite places to go and watch Six Nations. I was quite envious, looking at the lovely blue skies, crisp spring air in Edinburgh, and thinking about all those amazing pubs between Murrayfield and town. And yeah, they're going to be having a good time tonight. And just on the broadcast in general, so I've watched one game on ITV today, and I've watched one game on the BBC. And actually, it was the Irish broadcaster, I think it was RTE, who I said completely butchered the Peter O'Mahony walking off the pitch moment. They completely butchered it. I had no problem with the kind of the way that this game was broadcast. Just feels a little bit stale, wouldn't you think sometimes? Like Jiffy and Jono. But I mean, but both great. And there's something quite comforting about those guys. But I mean, Warburton and Barkley on commentary, no problem there. And Andrew Cotter, actually. Let me just give a mention to Andrew Cotter. When Wilgriff John went off to be replaced, he said, and I quote Andrew Cotter, "Wilgriff John is Wilgriff gone." Well played. Well played, Andrew Cotter. So Wales, I would describe them as... they're like a boat with holes in, and there's water leaking in. They've got a lot of issues that they need to solve. And you've only got so many fingers to put in holes. And you put your finger in that one and water starts coming in out of a different one. And today it was, you know, on the last game we saw their attack improve massively. And their attack has improved, but then their game management regressed a little bit on this one. Their defence at times as well. Scotland, on the flip side, I love the way they just get to width early. They just get wide early. They'll use the forward pods, then out the back. Then they've got the back line stacked up so deep. They're willing to lose 20 metres in territory in order to get Duhan van der Merwe and Hugh Jones and Blair Kinghorn and Darcy Graham into space in the wide channels, and it's so good to watch. And there were some absolutely awesome tries. Actually, tries that, for the most part, were relatively simple. I'm thinking of, it was that first Tom Jordan try when, what happened with that one? Yeah, they went to width early, and it was just one handoff by Duhan van der Merwe on Ellis Mee, one missed tackle, and that was it. Went to the outside, Hugh Jones on the touchline, inside to Tom Jordan. Really, really simple. And they just make really, really great attack look very, very easy. And they're very easy on the eye to watch. That Darcy Graham try, wee Darcy, just Finn Russell, the way he stepped inside the defender, lifted it late at the line, and Darcy Graham straight through. And Blair Kinghorn, he's quite good at rugby, isn't he? He's been hanging out at Toulouse. He's got even better there. Just like Jacques Willis, he's got much, much better at Toulouse, but being at Toulouse means he's not allowed to play for England. Whereas Scotland, they get the benefit of one of their best players going and playing with some of the best players in the world. And he's basically looks like a 6'5" Thomas Ramos now. He's very, very good. 28-8 Scotland were up. 4 tries in that first half. The bonus point wrapped up, looking really comfortable. Shredding Wales, who were looking all at sea, except for that one moment where there was a good Blair Murray try and nudged through from Gareth Anscombe, identified the space well. One of the few times Wales managed to keep some phases. Like I say, the most we saw from Wales the rest of the time was it looked like Jack Morgan and Taulupe Faletau were continuing where they left off last game, but the rest of the team just went back to how they were playing before. Meanwhile, Scotland were just, I mean, firstly, after that Kinghorn try, the first try, Darcy Graham making the extra man off his wing, off the right wing, on the left, making the extra man, getting the ball to Kinghorn, try time. Finn Russell with a touchline conversion. If I were the referee Piardi, just for banter, I might have gone up to him and said, you just need to move the ball a couple of metres to your right, left. Sorry, but he nailed the touchline conversion, and it was. And then the Tom Jordan first try, one missed tackle, try time. Darcy Graham, that was just Finn Russell doing Finn Russell things, and then Tom Jordan again. I mean, that one was a farce. Wales will look at that and feel a bit embarrassed about that 4th try for Scotland, with Ben Thomas trying the cross kick to Blair Murray, who then threw it back in field because he was in the air and going to go out into touch. Ben Thomas then fumbles the ball. Tom Jordan nudges it through and scores. It was one of those moments. It was when you watch France earlier where Thomas Ramos did that offload, Louis Bielbiere did the kick pass, and it worked. I think this was just confirmation. Wales, you're not France yet. But they will improve, and there's something there. Anyway, so Scotland are 28-8 up, and then Kinghorn scores again in the second half, and it's game over. My mind was starting to wander onto other things. I thought, oh, this result's done. It's a beatdown for Scotland. And then, well, Jared Evans comes on and makes a bit of a change. He's taking the ball flat to the line. He's making late decisions on passes, and that's how Ben Thomas got through for his try. I mean, Ben Thomas decided to completely ignore a 4-on-1 overlap and take it himself. So if he hadn't scored, he would have been roasted. But he did, 35-15. And I was thinking, 20 points with 20 minutes to go? Could happen, unlikely. Or 23 points. Yeah, and then they scored another try, didn't they? To go 35-22. And it was 10 to go, 2 scores down. Big defensive stand on their own line. And it felt like the crowd at this point had woken up thinking, all right, we can cheer our boys scoring one more try. Faletau had a different idea, though, and thought he'd gone through. By the way, Taulupe Faletau, after he had thought he'd scored his try, have you ever looked at a man who's given more in a rugby match? He was absolutely spent. He looked battered walking back after scoring a try. So I felt so sorry for him that the try wasn't even given. Blair Murray bounced George Horn off before giving the ball to Faletau. Unfortunately for Wales, he also hurdled a Scotland player's tackle, which is why the try was disallowed. A bit of white line fever from Scotland, and they can definitely improve and will need to. Rory Sutherland getting held up over the line, not very accurate. And then the other end of the pitch, Max Llewellyn is scoring a try at the death. his first try for Wales, a bonus point for the 4th try, and then a conversion, meaning that it's 2 bonus points for Wales, and massive congratulations for their effort in that second half. Scotland's attack was brilliant, but Finn Russell's face at the end of the match painted a picture, and Tom Jordan's as well. They were kind of like, well, we've won the game, but feels a little bit hollow because we let it get that close. And I mean, they've got France next, and Scotland are capable of beating France, but France will get opportunities, and you can't just hand them opportunities. You have to make France work a lot harder for their opportunities than Scotland made Wales work for some of their tries in that game. So Scotland have got the win, the full 5 points. I mean, it could come down to points difference for positions, and if so, Scotland may be cursing not really putting that game to bed. But then again, key players went off, and Scotland don't have the depth of squad, so there was a bit of a drop-off there. Anyway, point being that they got the win, and they look really good for it, and their attack, when it's on, is great. 80-minute performance, 23-man squad, that's the big question mark around Scotland, isn't it? And when you've got, well, look at France with Emmanuel Meafou and Marchand and Aldegheri and Bai coming off the bench. It's different gravy, isn't it? But thoroughly enjoyed it. Brilliant day of rugby. No pressure, England and Italy, but it better be entertaining. There better be some scores and some great attacking play, please. Mr. Borthwick, if you could have a word with your boys, that would be great. That is Saturday's rugby done and dusted. There'll be more videos coming on the channel this evening. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I will see you on the next one.